All right, thank you, thank you, thank you for Questing for Glory for having me. I hope you're all excited for Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis. This is definitely my favorite. I know there's a lot of people that like the SNES version, and I respect that, but this was the one I always loved. So let's get right into it and start. And the technical start for the speedrun is when you gain control of your character, but that's going to be a little bit hard for background guy who's restreaming for me to count down to. So let's just start a new game on the count of three. Three, two, one, go, go, go. We're going to go Gator Shaman, Gator done. The only reason to do that really is to have a little bit of better economy in the early game. We are a Gator Shaman, but we can't actually cast spells. Shadowrun takes place in a dystopian future in which magic returned in 2012. This game was set up in the 80s, so 2012 was still kind of the distant future to them. As we all know, we're going to die here. This is bad. This is really bad. We are terrible. We can't cast spells. We can't do anything. I just sold my weapons, and we're pretty much just going to have to rely on kiting strats to get through this first section of the game. We are weak and as helpless as a newborn kitten, but we did get through and got my brother's stuff. This entire game, we got magic. We just suck at it. This entire game is about tracking down the person that killed my brother, and we're going to be doing that in around an hour. I'm going to go ahead and safety save because we suck. We are a level 1 character. We're going to jump right into the deep end, and let's be honest, bad things are probably going to happen. My brother was a Shadowrunner, which is kind of a mercenary that does secret jobs of secrets. I am also a Shadowrunner. My brother was terrible at it. He got killed. I also suck at it. That runs in the family. But we're going to at least do the very best we can to avenge him. We're going to track down one of his friends. She gives us a bunch of names before she gets killed by a Renraku strike team. Being really dumb, we're going to go wave our hands around, and I'm going to safety save because I'm a coward. And let that Renraku strike team track us down by walking over here to Boris the Fixer. We're going to see if he can fix this speedrun. But all he's going to do is fix it so that I'm going to get shot. That's okay. Now here's the good thing. Every time we die, we wake up at the hospital, which means we can do Bugs Bunny strats and death warps. I'm gonna save the game just because anytime we run into combat, I'm probably going to die at this point. And we're gonna walk over here and get a little buddy. Now I'm a shaman, so you might expect me to be able to cast spells, but while I technically can, I really, really can't. At least not well. At least not effectively. But this guy can. There's only one spell he can do, and it's invisibility. And that makes him super useful for this game because Ricky the Rat Shaman can make it so that those enemies will not spawn. We won't get any events. We won't get any encounters. As long as your lead character is invisible in this game, you're kind of invisible to the entire game. And he works cheap, so that's good. We're going to hire him. Since we're kind of a cult, we're going to sell everything he owns. I'm going to sell the last of my items, too. This is Dystopian Seattle. Yep. Ricky is the MVP of this game, and that just goes to show you how messed up this game is. You can decide for yourself whether he has a ponytail or a mullet. I think that it's kind of a combo of the two. He's got kind of a mullet tail. In any event, we let him hang around with us, but only when we can't look at him. Now, we've got 2 shamans in the lineup, so the only thing better than that is to go for 3 shamans, because that's a well-balanced party. We're going to hire Walking Bear. She's best known for playing for the Seattle Mariners, where she once walked a Philly Fanatic on 3 pitches. The only reason we're hiring her is because she actually has some really expensive magical items, and since we're a cult, we're going to make her sell them in order to join the group, and then we're going to leave her completely naked and without anything in a bar somewhere in about 2 minutes. So we're going to do that. We're going to sell everything she owns. One of the good things about this game is you can sell things anywhere, so you don't have to worry about what shop you're going into. Yeah, Ricky might be balding. Now, we do have a cyber deck, which is Cyberpunk for computer, and our cyber deck is terrible, which is going to be a running theme in this game. Everything we have is awful. But we can upgrade the memory storage up to a whopping 200 megabytes of data. Now, this is futuristic. I know it's hard for you at home to really contemplate the computing power that could hold a whole 200 megabytes of data, but we have it. This is the future, after all. And we're going to use that in about 5 minutes. We're going to walk in here, find out a little bit of exposition about my brother. Turns out that's the guy that sent him to his death. You'd think we'd be angry with him, but this is America, and he's a job creator, so we're buddy-buddy with him. Now, I don't know about you, but it's been a long day, so we're going to hit the bar, pay the fee, go inside, and go hire a better Shadowrunner, because Walking Bear just isn't cutting it. So we're going to fire her, switch back to the Rickster, go and hire someone who's actually talented, which is Rihanna. Rihanna's a decker, which is kind of a hacker. We're going to need her for the computer section of the game coming up. And chat, I want you to decide right now, what do you think in your heart of hearts, is Pepsi Man a Jedi or a Sith? We're going to find out. We're going to find out in a couple minutes. You got to decide what you think. Whoa, I want to actually save the game, not load the game. Thank you. So I'm going to switch to her, go into cyberspace. We're just going to hack into a random system. The point of this is to get a little bit of money to win the game, and we have to crash a CPU. We're going to load up the only two programs that matter, which are attack and deception. And we're just going to be trolling. This is Dampa strats here. There's a couple of good systems that I want to go for. And we're just going to be rolling for them. If you're going with sleaze, you go with Sith? Yeah, good question. We'll find out. Good news is we are Pepsi Man, or Pepsi Gal, I guess. So we got that going for us. And depending on how long this is, you know, we might be Pepsi Man for a while. We might be Pepsi Man for 2 minutes. This is one of the big RNG roadblocks to the game. Just getting a good matrix system. You can't control it, you just gotta roll. Blue 4, that's what we're hoping for. That's not bad. I'll take it. Blue is the lowest level of matrix here. Green is next, orange is next up from there, and red is highest. So we're hoping to get a system that has an orange data store. We're going to be busting our way right through these matrix nodes. Hopefully, if they don't keep rejecting my passwords. Come on, try the pet's name. Address. Go for their address. They grew up on. Mother's maiden name, maybe? Nope. Favorite sports club. Hey, it turns out it was the Mariners. Alright, and we're going to use the first glitch in the game. We got through that node legal, like we actually did it properly. This is the CPU, though. This is like the master computer program. It's too tough for us, so we're going to run away from it. Yeah, and one cannot be told what the matrix is. Yeah, the password was password. 1234, exactly. And we're going to retreat again. That's going to bop us into the CPU, which we really shouldn't be in, but it's going to allow us to progress one tile past where we are. And it turns out that Pepsi Man is a Sith. He's a Sith. You all knew it in your heart of hearts. He's got the lightning strats. He's going full Palpatine on this thing. It's a big box of data that we're going to crack open and steal. Anyway, we just got to keep at this. We can try a little shuriken action. That worked. We also have an auton move. They're all the same. But we just got to keep attacking, and when we get into it... This game, I think, intended for these 3 attacks to be like different levels, like hard attack, medium attack, soft attack, but that was never coded into the game. All the attacks are the same. They're just different animations. And we're in the box of data, so we're just going to transfer files. We can only hold 5 files because this is the 1980s of the future and everything's floppy disks. Okay, I'm at yell alert, so I'm going to use the retreat glitch to go back and cancel that. Normally in a speedrun I just go for it on yell alert, but this is a, you know, marathon. I'll be super safe. And we're just going to steal all that credit card information, all that browser history, everything. We set off the alert, turning off the alert. That's unfortunate. And we can get one more file, so let's go for it. Oh, come on, man. Just one more file. One more. Oh, my God. One more. One more. I just need one more datas. There we go. That should be enough money to win the game. We're going to see what it actually comes up with. It's randomized. Now, with an orange data file, I'll get enough money to win the game more than 3 out of 4 times here. So we're going to go sell the data, 1,200, useless uses, 2,000, 2,800. That is barely enough to win the game. So we're going to go with it. Not a very good haul, unfortunately. But it's enough, and enough's enough. I'm going to go ahead and safety save again because I'm a coward and it's a marathon and I don't want anything bad to happen. And we're going to have Ricky walk us down slowly and invisibly. Now, in the actual speedrun, I just have Rihanna YOLO it because she has a faster movement speed, and you just hope for the best. But given that this is a marathon, we're going to take it the safe way. I'm going to have Ricky walk us through the wilderness and just try to avoid all the encounters. We're going to talk with David Owlfeather. David Owlfeather's a ranger out here, and my brother, this is where my brother died. He's going to help us, but only if we rescue his brother. He's offering us kind of a brother for brother trade. He's going to say, hey, if you help me get my brother back who's missing, I'll help you out with your brother. And we're going to take him up on that. It's going to take us a while to get there, but that's... Yeah, Rihanna's got really good movement speed. I love having Rihanna in my party during the normal speed run, like the competitive run, because she just moves like lightning. Ricky, not so much. He's a dwarf. His mullet is very aerodynamic, but doesn't actually make him go any faster. Now, right off the bat, we're going to walk all the way over for an optional side quest. We're going to find Stark, who is the last surviving member of my brother's Shadowrun team. He's super dinged up in a forest, dying. Now, the thing is, we suck. We're going to level up twice over the course of the game. We're still going to be like basically a level 2, maybe a level 3 character in D&D terms by the end of the game. We're not prepared to take on anything. Stark isn't really intended to be found until like the mid to late game. That's what the game developers wanted him to be accessible. We're going to hurry up and get that. His character is not going to be his power level is based on where you should be in the mid to late game. So we're going to get him, do his optional side quest, and then basically give him a gun and get out of his way. And we're just going to be riding him to victory for the entire speed run as soon as we can get him. That's the strategy. Let's go invisible again because we don't want anything bad to happen in here. Lots of nasty spawns that can happen in here, particularly hellhounds. Never want to see hellhounds around here. Walk through the cave maze. I'll be honest, I really like this game. I think it's very fun. Would recommend playing it casually if you haven't. It's a very forward-thinking, automated, procedurally generated mission system for Shadowruns, breaking into office buildings, doing different jobs, things like that. Cave maze, not its finest hour. And I hope you enjoyed that cave maze, because we're going to be doing that cave maze a lot. It's one of the things that I am a little critical of in terms of the game development in what's otherwise a pretty darn good game. But we're going to go up here. We're going to talk with the snooty elves in the forest that sent my brother to his death. And they're going to offer to help us, but only if we do a series of fetch quests. The first one is literally to deliver a picnic basket. I'm not even kidding. That's what the job is. I'm offended. We're not doing it. Well, we'll do it, but we're going to take our time on that. We'll get that eventually. Meanwhile, we're going to walk over here, go to the hospital. For once, we're not dead. For once, we're alive. Usually when we're here, it's because we got dragged out after being shot 19 times. And we're going to let them know about Stark. They're going to say, hey, we can save Stark, but only if you get a prototype cyber heart from Fuchi. And, of course, we're going to have to steal it because we can't afford to buy it. So, let's go do that. Hey, boo-boo! Exactly. First off, we're going to ask some questions and find out where Aragorn, the brother of David Owlfeather, is. Turns out he's in Mitsuhama, which conveniently enough is located next door to Fuchi. So we can knock through two birds with one stone, as it were. The picnic basket. I'm going to safety save because I'm a coward. And also because Ricky loves to become visible in the middle of breaking into office buildings. It's like his hobby. He just like shows up at the water cooler like, hey guys, what's up? You know, it's terrible. Meanwhile, we're going to walk through. Now, you will notice, if you play this game casually, that we're just walking through doors that should be locked. When I crashed the CPU on the overworld, I set off a glitch that unlocked every door in the game. It's what is meant to happen is that when you set off an alarm or if you break into an office building, you're supposed to be given the option of hacking into their CPU and crashing it in order to progress. It's like one of the various ways you can get through office buildings. But if you crash your CPU on the overworld, the game doesn't know what to do because you're not in a building, so it just opens all the doors. So what should be a relatively tough Shadowrun becomes relatively trivial, assuming Ricky doesn't become visible right now, which he loves to do. And you can just kind of walk through with your lead character invisible and go through it pretty easy peasy. Not a problem. We're through. All right, I'm going to safety save, and we're going to go do Mitsuhama. It's going to be very similar, except way harder, because Mitsuhama has a security camera, and the security camera can see Ricky even when he's invisible. So we're going to safety save, because this is actually one of the, this is one of the runs that, parts of the run that end in deaths of runs in actual like competitive speed runs, trying to get past the security camera. Now I've hung on to Rihanna longer than I usually have her. Usually by this point in the speedrun she's gone, and I'm hanging on to her just because she turns this walk past the security camera from like a 3 out of 4 shot to like a 90% shot. So it should happen, and if it fails, we do have the save. Like, oh well, you know, but it should be okay. 9 times out of 10, right? That never fails. And that's because even if she sets off the alarm, which she just did, well, way to go, Rihanna. We were all counting on you. She moves really fast, so she can usually get to the end of the hallway before she dies. Which she does. No! She died. All right, we'll have to try that again. 9 times out of 10 every time, right? That sucked. No! That's why I coward saved bravely. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 never happens, right? We'll get it. Yeah, marathon luck. It's fine. The good news is, that fails. That's a very common place for like competitive speedruns to die. I'm used to it. And the good news is, with going back to the save, like, you're fine. We didn't lose that much time. Okay, she doesn't set off the alarm this time, so we should be golden. And it actually isn't even Rihanna's fault, it's Joshua's fault. Just so you know. Actually, I want that on you. I'm going to go ahead and equip that. And we're going to fire everybody. And we're so mad about dying that last time that we're going to equip this gun and just start shooting things. That'll learn them. And we die. That's good. Yeah, thanks, Joshua. It is actually Joshua's fault. He died so fast. He was dead when I walked through the door, which I didn't expect, because I expected him to last at least, like, you know, 10 seconds. He didn't. And if he just gets insta-gibbed like that when you walk through the door, the game glitches out because it can't figure out how to progress the plot when you go through a plot door, which is like where that character was with the main character dead. It's not like Final Fantasy where you can go through the game with your main character dead. And when I was walking towards the hallway, I looked at him, and he still had some life. And then by the time I got to the hall, he was dead. Oh well, it happens. So we are going to go to Penumbra. This is actually a variation on the normal speedrun route. I don't usually go to Penumbra twice. We're going here mainly because, look at us. We dress the same. That is not going to work. We got to get a third person in here. First of all, we have 4 arms and 0 sleeves in the party, which is just like super embarrassing. And also, this guy has a really kick-butt shotgun that I covet and want to get from them. So we're going to hire them mainly for the shotgun, but also because they're a useful distraction in fights that are going to be coming up. So it's a bit of a marathon safety thing. In the normal speedrun, we do not do this. Or if I hire Winston, I do it when I fire Rihanna and I hire Winston before and just try to go through the section without them. Anyway, we're going to go up here and we're going to take yet another walk through the forest. And we're going to let David Owlfeather know that we liberated his brother from Mitsuhama by relying on a safety save. Should probably safety save. I guess I'm a coward. And it's a marathon. Now we are going to turn in the picnic basket. Hey, hey, boo-boo. And we're gonna get that fetch quest completed. Now we could walk back to the elves and get fetch quest number 2, but we're just gonna get that later. Now we liberated his brother, so we're gonna walk back to the taxi stand, and now we have access to a shaman at Council Island. Now I know what you're thinking. We've had 3 shamans in the party, none of which have been particularly useful or talented. But this one actually knows what they're talking about. They, of course, will not join our group because they're talented, but they'll give us some useful info. So we're going to head down there. It might be Wendigo's time. I know Wendigo. We're going to walk over here. We're going to talk to the chief. Or, I'm sorry, to the shaman. And he's going to give us a series of increasingly annoying and complex fetch quests. Because it's an RPG, and that's what people do. First up is to get the horn of a gargoyle. Now, we can actually get this potentially really early. Like, gargoyles can spawn. Uh-oh, that's a problem. Yeah, enemies that spawn right there are super annoying. I'm going to go this way. I was thinking about chasing him down, but I don't think it's worth it. Because they can, you can't walk through doors while enemies are there, and you can't shoot that person if they're on the lower level. So you can just get stuck there. And I hope you're all excited for Murder Hobo, because every Shadowrun game ends up in Murder Hoboism. And we have progressed from being a cult to being a murder cult. We're just going to kill everybody we see from here on out. Except that guy, because he's really hard to kill. He moves away too quickly. We'll kill him later. We're going to sell off stuff. We're going to do a wee bit of shopping. We're going to move some stuff around. I'm going to set him to full offense, and we're going to go. Actually, I think I didn't add Joshua's armor. That's usually what I don't do. Yep, didn't do it. That's okay. Now, we are hunting gargoyles, so you'd think the last place, I'm going to safety save before we go in here, because this can go so bad. The last thing we would go is to an urban area, but this is a miscoded urban area. It's coded as Native American wilderness, like the forest, and so you get the Native American wilderness encounters, which include, pretty commonly, gargoyles. So this is one of the places you can go that are one of the best places to go to get them. Fortunately, you also get, like, Wendigos, which probably shouldn't be in the city, but are. Joshua's dead. You know, you'd think this would be a problem, but that's like his natural resting state. I hope you notice I actually went out of my way to just put his armor on. That didn't help. I probably should have just left it off. He's like a ballast. Alright, that's a hellhound. That's a problem. Okay. Hellhounds are probably one of the more dangerous enemies in the game. They have a lot of DPS. They're kind of glass cannons. Here's a gargoyle. We get a gargoyle horn. We don't need 2. We only need 1. And we're going to kill this random civilian. Hi. There we go. Oh, medkit. Take the medkit. Now we're going to go back and let the shaman know that we've killed a gargoyle as well as like 8 civilians. Actually more like 3, but you know, whatever. We're on a murder spree. Now you might wonder why I'm killing random people, and it's because, oddly enough, it's because in Shadowrun you don't get experience for killing things. There's no experience chart for killing stuff. You're supposed to get experience and karma for accomplishing things, for finishing missions, for doing stuff in the world. For whatever reason, you'd have to ask them. They made it so that you get experience for killing things in this game. But they didn't know how to do it because there's no experience tables like for D&D. So they just made it where roundabout every 20th thing you kill, and it is a little weighted, like hellhounds count for more than civilians, but it's not that weighted, you get a bonus karma point. Now, the plot of this game is in 3 tracks, 3 tiers. You have to finish all of them, but you can do them in any order you want. Now, yeah, where's the 5 hours of planning? Good question. Yeah, sorry. It's not real Shadowrun without 5 hours of planning before you go in the door shooting, right? You missed that. That was me planning for the marathon, and then just going in the door shooting. But one of the three tiers is karma locked. You need 18 karma in order to complete it. We need a reputation of 4, which is 18 experience points basically. And we can get that faster if we just kill random people. So we're gonna, because we need that karma as fast as we can. Because that is the tier that gives you 10,000 new yen, which is like money. And we want that 10,000 new yens. So we're gonna try and get that. Yeah, we don't get negative karma in this game, so we can be as evil as we want to be. You missed the 3 turns of decking. We did the decking already. We're done. Your favorite game? That's cool. It's a good game. This is one of my favorite games. When I get Hellhounds. Now, we're hoping for a Hellhound spawn. This is the only time in the game we want Hellhounds. I'm going to try to hurry the Hellhounds up by leaving and coming back in. So, yes, yeah, killing random people can give karma, but only if you kill 20 of them. Roundabout. It's actually somewhat randomized, so you never really know what your karma total is. There we go. 100% of this game where you do everything, I'd say like a casual playthrough of this game would probably be like 30 hours, 20, 30 hours, something like that. There is no 100% category because I wouldn't even know what that meant. I played the SNES version, which is good. I know a lot of people prefer it to the Genesis. I was always more of a Genesis fan. But I will not say bad things about the SNES version. I can understand why people prefer it. I can understand why people like it. All right. We're going to walk out of here. We're going to go to the... turn in the Hellhound, and we are asked to get a Feather of a Dragon, which is, like, absolutely ridiculous. Joshua's dead. That's fine. We're probably stronger with Joshua dead, so I'm fine with that. I do need to, unfortunately, bring him alive right before I walk off screen, though, because otherwise we'll glitch back to the hospital. But we're going to go get that dragon feather. I'm going to go ahead and save the game because I'm a coward, and bad things can happen in the forest. Now, I totally turned in that picnic basket, but I'm a paranoid... Yeah, fine. We're fine. Like, I knew I had already talked to that lady, but I was so paranoid because it's a marathon about forgetting to talk to that lady that I did a completely unnecessary conversation with her just to make sure. Alright, we get enemy spawn right as we're walking out the door. But it's only gargoyles, so it's fine. Slows us down a little, but not that bad of a deal. Yeah, exactly. Cowards finish underestimate. That's the way I think about it. So we're going to walk through here. Walk through the forest. I'm going to safety save when I get to the bottom here, because Hellhound spawns can happen, and they are no joke. And we're going to just walk through, talk to the snooty elves who live all the way in the most inaccessible part of the forest, and then we're going to go through Cave Maze Part C. There's only one... Yeah. We're going to... Oh, we got a Wendigo spawn. Wendigos aren't too dangerous. Just kind of annoying. So we're going to go through here, bop around. We could hire Ricky for this too, but I'm fairly confident that Stark will be able to get us through here, no problem. And we're through the cave maze. We're going to be walking... All we got to do is walk through the forest over here and get into the snooty elf land, where they will give us another fetch quest, because that's how these things work. Now, here's the real thing. I have to be super careful in this menu, because if I hit the A button one too many times, I get bopped back to the highway. I did it right. I have screwed that up before. It's super embarrassing. If you hit one too many A, you instantly get bopped back to the highway and have to walk all the way back. And yes, I am derpy enough to do that in a speedrun. So I'm going to safety save and go forward. We're going to bop through the cave. I know the way to go. It's down here. We're going to go down and then hard left. And we're going to be looking. Oh, Bandersnatches! Not a problem. We're going to go here and hard left, and we're going to find the Renraku Cave Squad. Now, if we were playing the game normally, we'd be attacked periodically by Renraku strike teams. Hopefully we'll avoid that entirely just because we're going through the game so fast. But Renraku's out for us. They were the ones that killed my brother, and so we want vengeance on them. Although it turns out they're not really our direct enemy. They just want us dead because we know too much. But we're going to run into a Renraku Cave Squad. And this Renraku strike teams in this game are like the hardest enemies in the game. But not the Cave Squad. Like, you got to screw up bad. Like, bad to be put on the Cave Squad. I'm going to show you. We run to Cave Squad. I'm just going to run up and down here. Go ahead and kill me. Go ahead and kill me. They can't do it. They can't do it. We'd be here all day. If there was like a Cave Squad percent where I just like waited for them to kill me, the estimate for this game would be like 2 hours. So we're going to go through here. We're going to find a dragon. There's a but thou must. No matter how many times I hit that A button, he won't let me leave until I say the right thing. And then, sadly, it is time for Winston Mars to go. I'm going to take his clips, change recipient. There we go. I'm going to fire everybody in the party. I'm going to equip my mighty frag grenade. I'm going to take my armor off, and we're going to go right up against Cave Squad by throwing this grenade and then walking on it. Boom! It's going to blow us right back to the highway. Now, I know we cannot trust Joshua with a... I should actually safety save because it's marathon. With frag grenade. So we're gonna take that right off of him. And we're going to walk right back over to Puyallup. Get Burly Protector, who dresses identically to us. And you can decide if Joshua dresses like Stark, if Stark dresses like Joshua, or if Stark is wearing Joshua's clothing. I don't know the answer to that. You can make up your own headcanon. In my mind, my headcanon, Joshua just really like idolizes Stark and dresses like him. But now that we have Burly Protector, we're like way tougher. Anyway, we're going to walk over here. Now we're going to go right back to Boris. And I know the last time we were here, we died. But this time we're going to live. We're going to ask him about Eileen Two Fists. Turns out she's in prison, and so we're going to break her out of prison. Now, what the game wants you to do is to go into the prison shooting or sneak in with passes or, you know, Shadowrun it. But we don't have time for that, so we're going to glitch it out. We're going to talk to this guy. Now we know where Eileen is, and we talk to the prison guard. That's going to spawn her on the map as soon as I kill these two. Now, the next thing I go into is going to have Eileen, which is just going to happen to be this bar right here, where we can rehire the Rickster, standing next to Eileen Two Fists, even though she should be in prison. Turns out it was the prison of alcohol abuse. Let's liberate her. Get out of here. Now it's time for a karma check. I don't know how much karma I have. It's semi-randomized. I need 18 karma to win the game. What am I at? 17. That's not good enough. I'm going to get 3 karma for turning in the feathered serpent thing. That's going to put me up to 17, which means I'm 1 short, which means, and I am so sorry for this, we're going to have to get a job. Go to the Halloweeners, take the Ares Emporium. You got it. I know. It feels awful to actually have to do a Shadowrun in the Shadowrun game. But we're going to have to do one, and we're going to have to do a noob one, too. Like, we're taking the entry-level take a box from here to there missions that are supposed to teach you the layout of the map. Okay, so we're going to walk over here, and we're almost done with the job. We're going to turn that in. We'll have just enough karma. Right there. And we're going to go back to the Shaman. We're going to find out the name of our enemy. Now, let's keep in mind the suspects. Could be Caleb Brightmore. Could be David Owlfeather. Could be Renraku or anyone at Renraku. These are all people that have come up. You can try to figure out who the enemy is. My money would be on Mako Soshu. That's like the most obvious guy who's out to get me. But the Shaman is going to tell us the true name of our enemy. And it turns out it's an Egyptian deity named Thon. I know, like, you weren't seeing that coming. Like, you couldn't guess that. There's no way. A little bit out of left field there with that one. But we'll have to go deal with him. Turns out he's the one who killed my brother somehow. We're not really sure how, but that's what the guy says, so let's go with it. And we wound up with 1 karma point too many, which means we didn't actually even need to take the job. We just need to kill 1 more civilian. That is so frustrating. We could have done this without being gainfully employed. Anyway, we found out the name of our enemy, which means we can go downtown, because now we have 4 reputations, so we can walk into the club that we need to walk into to beat the game. It's filled with Japanese businessmen doing karaoke, and we're going to walk in here with a shotgun and just start shooting people, because that's the Shadowrun way. Alright. We shoot Mako Soshu a bunch. Turns out he's not behind the people trying to kill us. It's Ito Agami, his boss. So we're going to have to go take care of Mr. Agami. So we're going to go, we know he's staying at the fanciest hotel in town, so we're going to take a cab over to downtown Seattle. Walk right in there and find out that he is also at a bar, but that he's a really rough customer who wears white shoes and brings an office desk to a bar. Like, who does that? Ito does that. I'm going to safety save before I go in here, because this fight can actually be pretty rough if we get really bad luck. And we're just going to start shootering. Notice Stark's basically the only one doing any damage of any kind. I'm going to heal up Stark because he's important. The other 2, don't really care. There we go. Yep, told you, he brought a desk to a bar. Now we are going to get the name of a contact here who is someone we can call for help. We're also going to walk right out of here, and we get 10,000 bucks for killing him. He was carrying 10,000 in cash. So good for us, bad for Renraku. We're going to start spending that money immediately. We're going to go over to Rickster. We're going to heal him up to full, because we need him in tip-top shape in a minute. We're going to walk over to the vid phone, talk to Captain Quentin James, buy a comp, and we're going to get out. You have to be very careful in that menu. You literally can't get off the phone with him unless you buy something. If you hit the wrong button, you can literally get soft-locked in that menu and never be able to leave. He's the world's ultimate salesman. We're going to go back, take a helicopter ride to the Snooty Elves that skips about 2 minutes of walking through a forest. That's basically all the money we got. It's all gone right now. And find out that the person we're working for is the patron saint of unfortunate facial tattoos. Don't get face tattoos, kids. You think they're cool when you're 18, and then you need to get a job, and they're still there. Anyway, we're going to go back to the shopping mall, and we're going to do our only shopping trip left in the game. Now, the menuing for this can be a little awkward because I'll wind up with different items each time, but bear with me. Let's see what we got. Nope, you're fine. Sell that. Keep that, keep that, keep that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Keep that. Alright, hopefully that's enough, healing to win. Because that's all we're going to get. I'm going to safety save before we go in here. We're going to go trash Itogami's office. Turns out he has a plot item up there, so we're just going to walk into the most heavily guarded security... oh, God, Ricky, you went visible? Ooh. Ricky went immediately visible. That could have been bad. That's why I safety saved. Fortunately, not even Ricky can stop us now. Ooh, that could have been rough. Anyway, we get in the elevator, we go straight up, because the lead character in our party is invisible, they can't see us, and because we glitched out the matrix, all the doors are unlocked. So what should be a tough series of checkpoints to get through is nothing but a walk in the park. We get through and get half of a map. Now the first thing I'm going to do is fire everyone for setting off that alarm. Next thing I'm going to do is take my armor off, and then I'm going to get shot to death. Now, oddly enough, despite the fact that I just got shot to death, after stealing a map from Renraku, they're going to let me keep the map when I die. I don't know why. I would take the map from me, but they let me keep it, so I've got that plot item. We're going to walk through, get Burly Protector, and we're going to go win the game. Don't know what my time is right now, but we are coming near the end section of the game, just so you know. So I don't know. I may be ahead. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like I had bad luck, so we're probably on a decent pace, if nothing else. Anyway, we're going to go in here, get a lecture about unfortunate face tattoos and why you shouldn't get unfortunate face tattoos from this guy. He's also going to suggest that we go over down to the other bad part of town and get the second half of the map, which you'd think we'd figure out like automatically. Like, we have half of a map, we should get the other half of a map. But we actually have to talk to him and get that dialogue, or else we can't win the game. So let's do that. Yeah, and let's get that other half of the map. So we are gonna... Wait. Okay. We're gonna hire Ricky, mainly out of habit. We don't need him for invisibility anymore, so you can pick whoever you want. Yeah, I'm probably going to be finishing around 45 minutes. Just to want to warn Dragon Dark, who's up next. Anyway, we're going to rehire Ricky out of habit. Most of what we need him for right now is combat, which is not his specialty. You could go for somebody else, but he's on the way, and he has equipment, and, you know, you might as well, and you can afford him. We actually wouldn't have enough money to hire Eileen Two-Fist right now, so... Anyway, we get the other half of the map. You'd think there'd be a fight there, but I think that was a section of the game that never really got finished, because you just walk in and get it. And we're going to go to the karma screen and level up. I can get that up to 6. I can get this up to 8. I can get this up to there. I'll increase that, make him a little bit tankier. Increase this. Alright, a little bit tankier. We'll check out. In a normal speedrun, you usually only level up once. We're doing it twice for safety. It'll make the end boss a little bit easier, although it's not necessary. And we're going to go back to Puyallup. So I am going to walk over here. We're going to safety save before we go into the end boss, and then it's just the end boss Zerg Rush. So let's go ahead and save Arini. And go, go, go. Let's go to the end boss. And he's going to be like, come back when you're ready for the end boss. And I'm like, but I'm totally ready for the end boss. Let's go. Alright, now this should be a hard fight. These enemies all have very heavy armor and are tough to get through. But the good thing about it is you can just walk right past them. You can just walk right past them, get to the end of the thing, and then you get into the fight. They really should lock this door, so you have to fight those guys, because they're tough. But they don't. Now what is tough is, every time you play this game, the enemies get a hit on you before you can even do anything while there's like a cutscene going on, and it does a ton of damage. Okay, awkward menuing here. Fortunately, it's just a lot of healing items, and now we just have to DPS him. We got his 2 little buddies down who do a fair bit of damage. I turned Ricky up to full offense because I have fetishes that can allow him to overcast on his spells. So he'll do a little bit more DPS, although most of our DPS is going to be from Stark. And we're just going. We're going. Come on, just get to the end, boss. Kill. There we go. Dragon Buddy's going to show up and finish him off for us with his dragon eye lasers, because that's how dragons do it. Take that, Egyptian deity who's in a Shadowrun game for no readily apparent reason. And that's time. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I do love how the game assumes you have like way better armor than you actually have, because I couldn't afford any of this stuff. This like nifty power armor with the sweet gun. But I am happy. Thank you for having me. I am so excited that I get to shoot letters out of my gun. Hope everyone had a good time. I wanna give hype for Dragon Dark, who's gonna be up next. It's gonna be awesome, so stick around. And thank you very much for having me. I had a great time. Sub 45? Oh no! I knew I should have put in a lower estimate. Anyway, I love this game. If you want to hang out, come on by and join the Discord. And because we speedrun for all the people that speedrun Shadowrun. And if you have any questions about the route or anything like that, I'd be happy to talk to you.